Okay, y'all. Hey, get in the picture.
I'll just stand.
Okay. Sleep on it. Y'all ready? Eli, you gotta smile too. 1, 2, 3.
Don't drop your chips.
Okay. Okay. Gotta push it. All right, y'all longer.
Push up.
Hey, girls. Hey, ladies. Hey, thank y'all for coming tonight. Both. Hey, put it right there. Put it right there.
What did he say?
So, I just want to thank everybody for coming tonight real quick. How we got here. I don't know if everybody knows how we got right here. Miles had approached me. No, we have Q&A now. Miles had approached me about helping him coach this year. And really, my
Leave him alone.
So, and really, when he approached me, my goal really was, to just kind of get to know some of these girls and hang out with them. But my goal with Miles was to get to know him and just kind of, in a way, minister to this guy a little bit. That's how this all transpired. Miles is a great guy. I like Miles. He's coached the girls. Everybody has their own opinions. But he's got, in many ways, he's a guy searching for something, and I don't really know if he knows what he's searching for. So he kind of approached me with this. I kind of told Kim, hey, this is a great opportunity to kind of spend some time and pour into Miles. Hey, on the side note, hey, I'll get to coach some girls. It'll be fun. Well, day of tryouts came, and there was 22 girls, and Miles calls me and goes, hey, I need you to coach. And I said, yeah, I'm there. I'm going to help you. And he goes, no, I need you to coach a team. And I sit there and go, whoa. And then Quentin Lackey called and said, hey, I need you to coach this team. We don't have anybody else. And so in a matter of about 3 or 4 hours, it went from me helping to me coaching a team. So I showed up that day in an old pair of shorts and a shirt and flip-flops. And I'm looking around watching y'all. And what happened from there was probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Miles, we did the evaluations that day in February. And Miles picked the players he wanted that day, and he picked the players, and I knew he got. At that time, I knew he got people based historically on who's been on this team before, and we kind of knew it, and we just let him have it. Just in that moment, I let him have it. There were some mamas there that day that were all fired up, redheaded that day, and daddy. But in that moment, I decided we'd let him have that, and because at the end of the day, winning's fun, but there's a lot bigger things than winning. I'm glad we won. There's a lot bigger things. Really, I was looking to take what God had given me, what God had given me in this team, and do what we could with it. And so in that moment, we drafted 12 players, and 3 of them had never played ball before. Ashlyn's one of them. Maddie Turner, she never showed up. What is her name? Maddie Turner. And then Hoobler. Oh, So right off the bat, we had 12 players, and 3 had never played before. And in that moment, I knew. In that moment, talking to Kim, talking to Miles, I knew we needed a couple more people with experience, and kind of reached out to Jason in April. And said, hey, we need some people to help. We need some people to lead. We need some people to experience. And I reached out to Angelina. Angelina is Angelina. Our families are tied with Angelina in a lot of really great ways. God has really done an awesome thing in that. And I knew she was too good an athlete not to play. And we talked back and forth. I talked to Judy. I talked to her, and I just said, hey. You're too good of a ball player not to play. These girls are young. It's a young team. And I really need you to play. I really need you to play because this team needs leadership. So that's how our team kind of transpired. We kind of picked up some dropped off, and we ended up with the team we had. from there, I played a lot of baseball. I played a ton of baseball, and I played a lot for his dad, for Jerry. But I've never played softball, so there's a lot of things I didn't know about softball. A lot of these little details, like why is there a circle around the pitcher's mound? That's how bad it was. So I knew we needed help, and from the beginning, Greg stepped up and said, "Hey, I'll help you." Jason, I said, "Man, I need some help." Jason, Paul, they stood up and they helped, and we started putting something together with this group. And as we went, we knew we needed more. And Kim came to me one night and said, "You need some girls off that high school softball team." And I go, "Kim, they're too old, can't play." She said, "No, this is what she said. She said, you need girls." She said, high school is the highest level. High school is the highest level these girls will play at one day. That is their goal. And she said, you need somebody that plays at the highest level and someone who stands firm in their faith. And kind of how Brantley and Ivy transpired was through Kim reaching out to Brownie and Kim McNickens, or Kim Bond, sorry, and kind of saying, "Hey, would y'all be a part of that?" And in the middle of them playing 30, 40 games a year, they took time for y'all, and we needed that. Y'all needed that. Y'all needed direction. Y'all needed leadership, and y'all needed to know that you could you could be a softball player and you could stand for Christ at the same time. That's what these girls showed more than anything. But time after time, they were responding to texts that y'all didn't know. They were at practice without me asking. I was out of their own time. And they did it because they loved y'all and they want to see y'all at the same level they are one day. So as we started growing and kept coming together, things started happening in this team, right? We started practicing, we're learning fundamentals, learning how to throw, learning some things. They started coming on board. They started helping me. Friends like, "What do we do?" And I go, "We're in practice. Show me what you can do. Let's run some drills." And so we started getting there, and we got through preseason, right? We got into the preseason tournament, and the first game, I was worried. The first game, I was worried. We let David Morris team beat us because we walked 11 runs. Yeah. But here's what happened. Y'all started believing in yourself a little bit, and we ended up making it to that last game in the preseason game. And y'all started playing, hitting the ball, and having a little bit of fun together. And at that moment, I knew that this group of girls who honestly was picked over at the beginning, I knew y'all had something special. And actually, the day before we played Ward in the preseason tournament, I reached out to Jeremy and I said, "Hey, what's your number?"
99.
Now he said, "What?" But his response, "Why do you want my number?" And we've known each other a long time, but we've been out of contact. I was going to Uganda and I asked him to help. And I knew two things. I knew he'd coached high school for 9 years at the highest level, and I knew that he could help y'all with some of these minute details and fundamentals part of softball to help you know where you are and where you need to go. And the three game interim coach ended up being a whole year, and it's been great for everybody. I sit and watch drills with y'all, and I'm sitting there watching Jeremy, and I'm not taking mental notes with my phone sometimes, but it's been good for all of us. And what's happened is you've seen Jeremy, who has no skin in the game. There's no Evelyn. He has Evelyn. So she's too young to play 12U. So they came. He came in, saw what y'all had, and saw some of the same things I saw. And we asked him to stick around, and he did because he wanted to see y'all grow. And what happened over 10 weeks was. I got to watch y'all from 8,500 miles away, first of all, but I started watching y'all win. And not only win, but I started seeing y'all play for each other. And I started seeing, we talk about the body having many parts, right? We talk about, Paulo talks about spiritual gifts and how the hand can't be the foot and the foot can't be the head and everything has to work at its own place to make the body work right. And what we're seeing in this is we're seeing everybody utilizing their gift on our team. Everybody utilizing what they're good at to come together, and we're putting together a team over 10 weeks. It's just, to me, was something special. And what y'all have accomplished over 15 games, 18 if you include the tournament we played in Morris, is incredible. Is incredible. And it's nothing that we really did. It's y'all set some goals, and the only way you're going to do it is if y'all earned it. And hey, please stop for a second. And y'all work hard for it. So I just want to say, I appreciate y'all taking a chance on me, giving me the opportunity. And it's been probably one of the most enjoyable times I've ever, outside of my kids, outside of my marriage, outside of church, probably one of the most enjoyable things I've ever done. And I've loved what I've done this year. And I love each one of y'all. Y'all have been great to coach. Y'all been frustrated at times. Y'all been but overall, it has been so much fun because what happened is y'all figured out that y'all can play ball. Y'all figured out that y'all could beat a lot of really good teams. And y'all put together a heck of a season and it came down to extra innings last weekend. I mean, the ball could have gone either way and y'all could have won. I mean, there's really no second place team in that. Y'all, there was so much parity between y'all. It was amazing. Thank y'all for that opportunity. And thank y'all for playing. And thank y'all for allowing me to enjoy this. It was something that was my wife had, Kim, we have 5 kids, 6 at the time, so she sacrificed a lot of time for me to do this, and y'all allowed this to happen. I just want to say thank y'all. Y'all did a great job. And you got anything? I'm just keep talking. Okay. So in saying that, we've always done things a little different, right? Ma'am?
Can I say one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
We've played ball for everybody here has just about for several different years and had different coaches and different families. This year's been wonderful because of the Christian atmosphere and all I've enjoyed getting to know all these parents and I feel like they're my friends. And but it's the Christian attitude is what made this year special.
I was told going in by some people, hey, you can't bring your faith in the corner park ball. Some mamas ain't gonna like it. And really, my response is they just don't have to do with it. I mean, it's just we know right. So we brought it in. We had Brantley. She brought in. Hey, first night, what does she do? She goes out and teaches you on the toe with. She sits up 15 minutes and gives a devotion. I mean, it's incredible to see. Not only play ball, but we're growing together and we're kind of sharing, praying, we're sharing Christ together in many ways. So I appreciate that. But I think we've all grown. Just more than softball, we've all grown in so many ways. And we've seen people who have come in. Really, she knows some of y'all from church, but she knows a lot of y'all. It's kind of hard to share Jesus with someone that you don't really know sometimes. It's just kind of human nature. But she did it. Ivy did it. Greg, Jason did it. Jeremy, we all did it at one time. We all did it, and we all kept our attitudes right. The whole time our attitude was right. The whole time we were working towards a goal together, and the whole time we grew. I mean, this team just grew this year and surpassed expectations. First practice, I get home and I say, Kim goes, "How was it?" And I go, "We might not win a game, but we're gonna have a good time." But it ended up being really good. It's funny how God puts the right people in the right place at the right time. And even when it comes to the coaches and the gifts of these coaches, everybody kind of did their own thing. Everybody brought something different to the table, and everybody filled a void or a crack or a crevice that was in this team. Filled it, coached it, and helped these girls develop. So, y'all be really proud of yourself. This team has grown this year, and that's on account of y'all working hard and being coachable. So. Go. Yeah, please do.
Okay, I just want to know that I'm so proud of y'all and how far you guys are playing, not only as an individual player but as a team, just really coming together and playing with each other, because these friendships that you make right now, you're going to carry them with you for a long, long time, because park ball is how I met Ivy, and Ivy is one of my dearest friends, and I know that I can go to her with anything. And I just have so many friends from softball. And softball is not only a game that you just go out and play just because you're good at it, but softball can be your mission field to show people Jesus and just go out and just tell people hey, just talk to people. And when you talk to people, they're gonna realize that there's something different about you girls. And they're like, I wonder why she acts like she does. And that's because, I mean, like, you guys love Jesus, and, like, I'm just so thankful that I've gotten to know every one of y'all because I love you guys, and this season's just been so fun. And I want to thank the parents for letting me be a part of your kids' lives and just letting me be there because I think they've made more of an impact on me than I have them. And so I just wanted to thank all y'all.
You serve somebody and they make more of an impact on you than you.
So what do y'all leave with this? Y'all leave winners, but y'all leave with someone who's playing at the level y'all started being one day, right? So y'all always say, hey, Brantley, what about this? What about that? Hey, I got a question about something, and you got an answer, and you probably got the maybe sugar-coated answer, and then you got Jeremy.
Jeremy actually told me one time that I needed to be mean.
Yeah, who's at the highest level, and you can say, hey, what am I missing? What's going on? What I need to get here? And you're going to hear the truth, not because he's being mean, because he wants you to get to the place you want to be, and he's able and willing to tell you, and then make you run triangles. So,
yeah.
I'm just proud to see how y'all changed from when I first got there to where you are now. So much improvement. I mean, there's hands down. I mean, you can't say you didn't get better. Proof's in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? So where we ended up, where we started, if you really thought we'd have been there, you know. So y'all did it. Y'all achieved. Yeah, it didn't turn out how we wanted to, but like he said, it could have went either way. Two in the ball game ain't very good, but it ended up being about 5 in the ball game. So, I'm proud of all y'all. And like she said, thanks to the parents for letting me come and try to get them better.
Okay. So this year, what we did was me and Jeremy kind of got the other day and kind of went through and we got y'all some award certificates of what kind of where we kind of just some fun, kind of say where we are and kind of give y'all something to kind of recognize this season in a certain way and kind of something that we, and a tribute that we kind of related y'all to. We also have the 12 medals from the tournament. Teresa had told me that we're getting first place, but she gave us second place. But we never played the first place team, so as far as I'm concerned, we're still first place. She said we're getting first place medals, and I looked at her and I go, Jeremy, that's second place. And she goes, I just want Teresa gave us. But I told her, I was like, until we play something Christian, and they would never let us play because the season kept going. So like, oh, everybody we first place, we get first place medals. She got me. So it's all good. It's all good. Y'all get them in All-Stars. Walker County All-Stars, that's them. So y'all get them.
I thought they weren't going to play because they were not going to.
So, but let's go with awards. And our first award tonight it goes to the Coach of the Year, and our Coach of the Year is Elin Chapel. Elin is always pushing our team to perform their best. As a team, we were 11-0 with her in the dugout, and without her, we were 4-3. Elin, you're my Coach of the Year.
Yay! Oh,
Look at that.
get it from Brantley. Here, hold it up. When I'm turn it around, let me take a picture.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, good job. Hey, hold that yellow and take off.
And secondly, the second thing we had was, I called it the speed demon award. And what happened was when this person got on base, by God, she wreaked havoc on the base path. No one could throw her out. She was aggressive on the bases, and where this team really struggled as a team running bases, she excelled. It was her strength, and what was so fun to watch about her was her confidence on the base. Where some areas where she might need to grow in confidence on the base, it surpassed everything. If she could find that somewhere else, she would be bad to the bone. The Speed Demon Award, Autumn. Hey,
we're doing a long day.
Challenge, you have to have the microphone.
Here, let's move on.
Hey, don't leave that.
Stand between me and Brandon.
Hold it up so we can see what you got. 1, 2, 3. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
So,
Need a towel?
Hey, so our next award, one of the pet peeves that we had, that we kind of talked about, really more of Jeremy than me, because I was kind of the good cop and he's the bad cop in this one, but was get to play. We got to play this game. It was so much fun, and nobody made y'all play. Y'all got to play this, and in this, one of the things we wanted you to do is enjoy it, and part of that enjoyment is hustling. Always running on the field, off the field, getting your position, trying your best, doing your best. And we always, when we all hustled, there was someone that always stood out above everybody else. I mean, to the point where Brandy and I was there going, man, that one right there, she is getting after it. I mean, oh God, I had an energy. I wish I had to hustle like her. But our hustle award goes to Leighton. You go for it.
Yay. Yay, Nate.
Oh, geez.
You're not home cheese. You're not
Okay. So our next award is we call this the most coachable. And while everybody here adapted and grew and listened, there was always we always grew and learned. There was one person. You okay? There was one person we kind of agreed upon that always did exactly what we asked. And when she did what we asked, she had a habit of going repetition until she got it right. Like almost impulsive repetition until she got things right. And that's kind of her nature. But if we look at everybody, we have a word called most coachable. We just kind of thought that Cameron fit that mold.
You gotta get up and go.
Yay, Cameron.
Cameron.
Turn it around. Hang on. You should give her the slowest one.
You should have the slowest award.
She should have all.
Sloth award. The slowest sloth award.
Okay. Turn it around. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yay.
Yay, Cam.
Next one. Nathan Cox, what did I tell you all year long? See if you listen.
Hello.
Out
Well, besides that. Okay, well, that's okay. I'd ask her the same thing. All year long, I'd look at Caitlin, and just about anything you threw Caitlin, she would catch. And to me, whether it be where we did outfield drills, infield drills, she was always catching the ball. And she may not always be on the base when she catches it. She always caught the ball, and she had what I'd say was probably the best glove on the team because she could do that. We were talking about the other day. She stopped everything. She was caught the ball, and she really stood out with her glove. So we have the glove award. This goes to Kate. And the spirit finger award. Running. Award.
Who runs the same way?
You don't know that.
Okay, turn it back. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Here you go.
The next award is it goes to someone who when we started the season, she was the happiest person on the team, most carefree person on the team. But I didn't really know if she was there just to be part of the team, or if she was there to play ball. And the first few practices, we went through fundamentals and we saw her trying, but we really we really, there was some concerns. But once we got into the season and got into games, what we saw was with this person is that she started believing in herself a little bit. And I remember I'd always go to her when we were in the batter's box, and I'd go, just believe in yourself. You hit the ball in practice. You kill the ball. Just believe in yourself. And time in, time I get frustrated. Just hit the ball. Time in, time out. She would smile, and she understood. And during the season, as the season went on, she started hitting the ball, and she continually got better. We played Miles regular season the first time, and we were struggling. We were struggling, and we were in the 5th inning, and the score was 4-3, and a clutch hit against Sophia. Scored the two runs that kind of put it, or 3 runs that put it off. She unloaded the bases off the hit, and really catapulted y'all. Catapulted her clutch victory. Where some people fell short, she stepped up and stepped up. That same game, someone hit a great hit in the outfield, and she comes up, catches it, and that ball gets passed. Hey, the bases were loaded. Yeah, that ball gets passed. The bases are unloaded. It's a ball game. C1 is ahead of us. So she made some clutch plays during that, and even in the tournament, the final season tournament, there was some hits that were hit to her, and she come up. Everything that we taught her, everything that we worked on, she made those plays, and it prevented big things from happening. And what we saw was throughout the year, she continually grew, continually got better, and she is our most improved player of the year. Amen. Bo's not coming.
Nobody can use that microphone.
No, he's said.
Hey, you guys get a picture now.
Over there, at the end of the table.
All right. Next award goes to what we call the clutch hitter. And really, what happened was there was every game there was opportunities to score, and when the opportunity always come up more times than none, this person stepped up and she hit the ball. And we put her in a position to line up where we expected her to produce, and she did produce. And not only did she produce, but she brought a great sense of confidence to this team through her production. And she ended up consistently came through with runners in scoring position, and when runs were needed. And she ended the season with a 949 slugging average, which is incredible. And what that tells you is that at that position where she batted, she really, that was her sweet spot. She really utilized that spot, and she really did everything that she could to maximize her production at that position. Anything else?
Mommy.
Clutch hitter award? Angelina.
Home cheese.
I love Angelina.
You did it for Jimmy.
Gosh,
Jimmy.
You should have cut the cheese on Maddie's. She was a cheese cutting machine.
So this year, so our next our next award, I call it the Stopper Award, and this goes to the person who played the defensive player of the year. And really, where this person couldn't stop a ball from hitting the backstop, so many times when we were struggling pitching, we struggled. I mean, let's be honest. We struggled a lot of times pitching, and so many times when we had runners on, there was clutch defensive plays at either third base or first that got us out of innings. They just got us out of innings. And because of her defensive play, she helped pick a team up where we were really sucking wind, trying to get a strike across the plate. So our Stopper Award, it goes to.
We did it for Jimmy.
gonna say it should have been called the Where's the Ball Award? Where's the Ball Award?
Wall.
Do the wall. The Great Wall.
Great Wall of China.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right.
Hold on. What you gotta do?
The last one, the last team award, the last award that we discussed is batting title. And really, this award kind of speaks for itself. Throughout the year, we produced a lot. We had 350 at bats, and we scored 162 runs this year. And as a team, we had a team average of 302, which is good. That means 1 out of every 3 batters is getting a hit. We scored 162 runs in 15 games. That's over 10 runs a game. We were producing a lot of runs. But there was someone that just kind of consistently, week in and week out, produced. And so many times she produced, but she got overlooked. Just because it's kind of expected in a lot of ways. But she was consistent. She hit the ball. She ended up with, she had 43 at-bats for the season, 20 hits, 29 scored runs, 29 RBIs, 17 walks, and a 465 batting average, which is fantastic. The offensive player of the year batting title, Molly.
Pause for a picture.
Smile.
Where's the good kid?
It don't work indoors at night.
Where does it work then?
Outside. In the daytime.
Okay. The next 3 awards are kind of awards that we asked some of y'all to vote for on this kind of awards. And what it is, we asked the parents to vote for the player that they thought had the best attitude, because we're in and out of it so much that we see it, we kind of know. We want to see from the outside what parent, who is seeing the attitude and who is seeing who has the best attitude game in and game out, because a lot of times it's attitude that kind of holds high value in what we do. Because if you got a right attitude, man, you make things happen. But what we did is I sent out a text the other day and asked the parents. I said, I need you to nominate who do you think should get this award for always having the best attitude, who continually had the best attitude on the field and in practice and in the games, game in and game out. And the parents' choice for attitude was Leighton Gilchrist.
She does have an attitude.
Yes,
You get the attitude award.
the second award, it's called Miss Softball Award, and really this is a leadership award. And what I did the other day was I sent a text out to the coaches and I said, which player possessed the highest levels of leadership? Which player helped our team attain goals? Which player had the best attitude on the field and showed the best qualities of leadership on the field and in practice? And really all the responses I got came back unanimous. I mean, really, it was just a no-brainer. And I've told this person all year long, where you go, your team goes. And I say this because she does have some. Everybody, there's leaders on this team. She has a natural tendency to lead. That I think if she can harness that, and you see this gift she has. She does really great things on the softball field, but also serving across in her life. Miss Softball Award goes to Ava.
We're not there yet, so I don't have MRS.
MRS. It is MRS in front. Last award was voted on by the players, and this award was really what we asked is who was it? Okay, team. Who was your most valuable player? Well, who was the player that signifies a player who had the largest impact on the team in a positive way? The MVP is one who puts maximum effort at her position and contributes highly to the team's overall success and possesses a high level of leadership to her peers through her play. So we kind of asked parents, ask everybody to nominate these, and we had 9 responses. And we had, and looking at around and talking to Jeremy, it really, based on what we got from y'all, it was kind of divided the way that we kind of discussed this back and forth. Who do you think? What do we think? And at the end of the day, as a team, y'all kind of share the same conversation we had, and because of that, we have co-MVPs this year. Our MVPs this year voted on by y'all, the players, was Angelina and Molly. So. Alright, that's all I got. Unless Ashlyn loved the game, but she's not here. So, where's she here?
Yeah. What did she get? She's got purple hair now.
Anything else? All right. Oh, Alyssa.
She's sick tonight.
Alyssa, I'm telling you, my kids gave me gray hair, and she made a lot of hair fall out this year. And the thing is that throughout the season, and Jeremy, you please kick in. Throughout the season, things had to be perfect for Alyssa, and if they wouldn't, then she would melt down, and it had to be, and it was things that she couldn't control. And what happened is as the season went on, she started realizing that these, you can't control these things, because and you can't let that get in your game, because if you do, then you can't throw strikes, you can't play the game you're supposed to. And what you saw was you saw kind of the season, Alyssa's season in a nutshell. You kind of saw that in the tournament, right? She started off hot. She kind of falls and strikes. She got hurt, right? Got hit in the head by Caitlin. So she's actually so tournament kind of signifies this season for her. She's kind of spotty in her pitching. She's accident prone, but we see her start to grow, and we see her have a really great game against corner one, and then the next game we see her start to melt down because the umpire had a strike zone about this big. That's Jeremy. He about got thrown out. But you see her letting external things rule her game. And really, what happened is that we came in after that last game and we're like, we're either making it or breaking it. We have nobody else. It has to be you. You're either gonna do it, we're gonna win, or we're gonna go home. And what you saw is you saw her compete, and it was the most enjoyable time my whole season was. I don't know if y'all noticed, I was sitting in right field and outfield in out of bounds that tournament, those last few games, because number one, I was nervous, and number two, I enjoyed watching y'all play. Y'all were making plays, y'all were running bases, y'all were playing to win. But I enjoyed watching Alyssa. Alyssa had to soak her guts up, and she had to pitch strikes, and she pitched her heart out that night. And really looking at kind of how she grew through the year, we kind of thought, man, she probably is, and we all compete. We kind of said, hey, she's probably the greatest competitor we've had this year in how she's grown and kind of sucked it up as the year went on.
Yeah, so this was her worst enemy. You can ask that one sitting over on the couch. If you're your worst enemy, it's hard to succeed because you kill yourself. Another thing is that I want to say is if you fight for your team and you fight for yourself, the coaches fight for you too. Okay, so that's why, like he said in that game, I almost got 2 out of that game. Yes, because I was fighting for my team. Okay, y'all were leaving it all on the field, so I was going to be the bad guy and get tossed. But I'm proud of all y'all. Y'all did very well.
I want all the parents, everybody, I want them right here. I want to get everybody together and get a picture real quick.
One more thing.
Wait, tell
you have a gift.